Hello, everyone. Hi, Dan. Hi, Jay.
Hi,
Hello.
Dave. Hi, Dan.
Hi, guys. You all right?
Is everyone okay? How have you been, Jay?
Yeah, it's coming closer. I've only got 3 days left this week. Then I've got a full week next week. I've had my notice in, and then the 29th of April is my D-Day.
Excellent.
Excellent.
So yeah,
That's cool, man.
I'm good.
Very cool. Very cool.
Guys,
Can't
let us
wait.
know who you are in the chat so we can say hello. Unless you comment, we won't know who you are.
But how was your investigation? Was it good?
Dan?
Friday? Saturday,
Saturday.
yeah. I'm losing track of time because of the bank holiday weekend.
Yeah,
we had a blast with, didn't we? Pardon the pun, we had a blast.
Oh, I'm bloody paying for it now. My hips are killing me. My lower back's killing
squeezing
me.
in and out of those tanks.
Yeah.
But hi, Belle. I need to speak to you a little bit later, Belle. Don't worry,
Hi,
it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Hi,
Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Hi, Belle.
So, yes, it was a good evening. Viv and we had Luce with us, and Luce and Viv were like, you know that, what's that game where they pop up and you hit them? They were like that in the tank turrets. They kept popping up out of different tank turrets.
Clue. Is it Clue?
Whack-a-mole. Is it Whack-a-mole?
Is that what you were
referring to? Yeah. They were like Whack-a-mole. And it was very nice. It was very relaxed.
Yeah.
We had a great time. The guy that runs it is Steve. It's the Norfolk Tank Museum, for those, before we go any further. We were at the Norfolk Tank Museum, and the man there who owns it and runs it, called Steve, and his boy, Aaron, and I can't think the other young chap's name. But, yeah, they were great fun. Really enjoyable fellas, really knowledgeable, and they investigated with us throughout the night, which was good fun. And it was a really, really nice, relaxing weekend investigation.
Good.
How did you? You loved it, Viv, didn't you?
Oh, it was amazing. I could have done a lot longer in there, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You can't go. You're right, Jane. You can't go wrong with a tank. You're absolutely spot on there. And there were quite a few of them in there, armored cars and tanks and all sorts of military equipment. But his guy had a First World War replica tank that Guy Martin had made a program about when he built it and stuff. And it was like down to the last detail. Deborah too, wasn't it, Viv?
Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
Hi, your parents. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're well.
I'm just sharing out. If guys in the chat, if you can share this out, I'd be very, very grateful.
Yes, it was, Jane. He had World War I stuff there, but he had this replica tank, which was, I think, it's the closest that's ever been made that is representative of an original tank. It was fantastic.
I've
Female.
seen.
Hi, you Kelly.
I've seen one as well.
Hi, Kelly.
Oh, I was just putting it up.
It was beautiful. It was just beautiful. Hi, Chantal. Fellow Early.
Look at that gorgeous picture from my paranormal daughter.
She's a beautiful, beautiful lady.
She is inside and out.
She is. She's a lovely woman. Yes, and we had a great night there. The chaps were nice. The tanks were nice. It was just nice. It was so relaxed, Viv, wasn't it?
It was.
Good company.
And the real treat is we had Andy and Luce with us, which was a real treat.
Andy don't like to go anywhere. Andy's my husband, by the way. If people are wondering who he is, I'm not married. I am not married to Dan. People think I'm married to Dan.
They act like a married couple, believe
we
me.
do. We argue, yeah.
It's so funny. So many people have said how
Thanks,
about
Kelly.
My husband, and they're actually referring to Dan, and I have to keep saying no, Dan's not my husband.
Well, do you know, I wasn't offended by that, but when people said to her, "Are you married to Dan?" Then when she went, It really started to offend me a bit.
I should say, yeah, and Jamie's our son.
James,
Hi, Loris.
hiya, Lois. How are you?
Hi,
Hi,
Lois.
Kelly.
Oh, right. Shall we start on this week's topic? Do you want to kick it off, Dan?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
You crack it off, Viv.
Me?
Yeah.
Right. Well, tonight we are talking about black-eyed children. And when I'd say black-eyed
hang on.
children...
Sorry. Black-eyed children.
Black-eyed children.
Oh, I've been doing a load of research on black-eyed peas. Will I am and all that. I've buggered it up and I've done it again.
Dan, let's just give Dan a slap.
The glasses have fell down.
Oh, dear. So when I say black-eyed children, I don't mean black-eyed children whose parents have got the ump with the kids and have slapped them in the mush and just given them a black eye. I'm not talking about those black-eyed kids, because those black-eyed kids most probably deserve the slap. But
that's true.
But these are on the paranormal level or on a supernatural level, depending on how you look at it. These are kids that are appearing right across the world that have actually, it's the insides of their eyes. It's all completely black, no pupils, just all black. And they're showing up not just in period clothing, in modern day dress as well, I might hasten to add, that are asking you to do things for them. So Dan, I'm going to hand it over to you to let you start off.
Well, as Viv was saying, actually Viv pointed out to me, I didn't realise it. I thought it was quite a fairly new phenomenon, but as Viv pointed out, it's been going around for quite a long time. So 1980. It's only something that I recently heard of in the last 20 years, maybe. I thought prior to that there wasn't anything, but Viv's informed me, and she's right, that it's been going on for a lot longer than that. And, you know, it's an interesting subject, because even though the first place that I heard of it from was the United States, but apparently it's been a phenomenon here for a lot longer than it has been over there.
Yeah, the phenomena, Dan, was from Staffordshire in England.
Exactly, mate. And do you know the name of the place?
It was in the pub, but that's all I got. But you said in America is in Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
And they had one in 96, and they called, I suppose they are states. So Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
That's where they were seen. So Oregon's obviously Bigfoot country as well, isn't it?
Yes.
And I think Portland is as well, isn't it?
Well, you make a good point there, because it is. Those areas are synonymous with ufology and Bigfoot sightings and stuff like that. And over here, where it's very dominant, seems to be places like Cannock Chase.
Right.
So these black-eyed children are seen in Cannock Chase, which is also well known for Bigfoot sightings over here. There you go, Bell Ward knows it. There's also sightings of dogmen there and apparitions, spiritual apparitions, nature spirits. So
they've also been seen. They've also been seen further south. This phenomenon is. It's not just America and England. In fact, this is worldwide. Yeah. A lot of the reports, there was one, as you mentioned, Dan, do you want to mention the recent one where the lady will not... Oh, no, that was something else.
That was Dogman. Yeah, but I will mention that if you want a bit later. Go on, sorry, go on.
But the thing is, this has been going on for so long, and people don't know why this phenomena is happening. So, Dan, I don't know if you want to kick it off with what you know about Cannock Chase, or...
The only thing I know about... the one thing that I know about Cannock Chase is infamous for two things. One is for the paranormal activity and supernatural stuff that's been going on there, and apparently it's been going on for centuries. And the second one is that back in the 70s, there were 3 girls that were murdered, only little babies, like sort of 6, 7 years old, 5 years old. So little dots, and they eventually caught the guy that did it. But whether that's got any relevance to the black-eyed children or not, I don't know. But I know that Forest has also seen. You've got the German. Well, Bell will know about this. Bell will know about this better than us. You've got the German War Cemetery there, and there's a dog man that's seen in the actual cemetery itself and hanging around generally by the cenotaph, the war memorial there. So I don't know what the significance of that is. The only thing that I thought of, which is that obviously Germany, like England, but more so Germany probably, is that a lot of their myth and legend is around, and their folklore is based around, that's the one, is based around werewolves, wolfmen and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if what we're seeing there...
But there's a certain part in Cannock Chase that I read, and I can't remember the name. If I go back and check, I could find it. It begins with a B, where people have been seeing these black-eyed kids, and they always come in 2s or 3s.
Yes.
This one, though, the last one that I read about was a woman walking her dog, and she'd seen a girl on her own, and it was like she was crying, and she found where the girl was. She followed the sound, and she called out to the girl. Was she lost? And she said something about, "Would you help me find my mummy?" But then when she turned around and looked at her and realised that she had these black eyes, the girl had run off and just legged it. So she didn't ask her for anything, didn't ask her if she could use anything. This was a little girl that was crying with black eyes that actually ran off, which I find is quite unusual with all these stories about the black-eyed kids.
Yeah. Another thing that throws me with them, Viv, is that some of the stories you hear of, they're talking to people, and people don't realise straight away, but on reflection, they seem to notice that the voices are sometimes robotic, almost not human, like they were like there was some sort of machine talking to them.
It's like on a tape recorder.
Others, but then others have had like a clear, concise, and they've been known to walk up to cars, tap on windows. Can I get in? Can you take me here? Can you take us there? And then when the person's looked at them and seen that they've got black eyes, it's like, yeah, no, do the window up, get out of there. And they've knocked on people's doors, Viv.
Yes, Jay, when you did your research, because we gave Jay the homework and badgered him, did you come up across any interesting stories about the black-eyed kids?
All I got, because I was getting very annoyed with YouTube, I was putting black eyes in YouTube, and it was coming up with the songwriters, the band, and I'm like,
Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, Black Eyed Peas, and then there was a Texas group, Texas, the state in America. So there was a song about it. Then I typed into famous Google, and then it comes straight up.
It came straight up.
I got it straight up. Yeah. So when I got home, I wrote something down. So yeah. So basically, it's been around 1980. Where is the love? So they said it's been around about 1980. So then, obviously, like you said, such as children, they come in 2s, 3s, like Viv said, 4s. And then there was an incident in Texas. I didn't pick up the state where it was, but that was in 96.
Right.
Do you know what happened?
Yeah. They believe, or the incident was that they think it could be vampires or ghosts or like cryptids. But that's all I got really. But they didn't explain why they thought it was a vampire or a cryptic or a ghost. They couldn't explain how they were formed, or
Do you have any thoughts on that, Jay, at all? It's gone quiet. He's gone quiet.
I'm
The boy's
thinking.
I can hear I can smell burning.
Look, his eyes are turning black. Or they will when I slapped him.
I suppose I think it's like a form of energy with it. It's quite hard to explain.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary. It's quite a hard. I don't know. I think it's.
I know.
Me personally, I think it's a form of energy.
What about you, Dan? What do you think? Do you think?
I think he's right. He's a very, very hard one to explain. I agree with Jay there because it doesn't really fit all of the other stuff. I think the one thing that throws me, Viv, is that it's like a chicken and egg syndrome, isn't it? What came first? Because are these areas high in UFO activity because something's going on there that's attracting UFOs? Or is it a case that the UFOs are bringing that activity?
Shall I tell you about what I found?
Yeah, go for it.
This might change your mind a little bit. I read a story of a gentleman who was married, who had a young child, and it was Halloween, and they'd put out a bowl of sweets outside because his wife got up early because she worked in a hospital. So she was going to bed and getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So she would go to bed early. He would then keep an eye out for the baby and feed the baby during the night so she could get the sleep so she could get up in the morning and go to work. So this particular evening, he put the bowl out because he couldn't be bothered to get up all the time for the trick-or-treaters. And the kids stopped sort of going around about 10:30. The kids were going. That was it. It was 12:30, and baby was in bed. His wife was in bed, and he got a knock at the front door. He was just getting ready to go into bed himself, and so as to not upset the wife, he got up, and it was a big bang, 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 bang on the front door. And he thought, well, surely that can't be trick-or-treaters at this time of night. He said, if it is, his thoughts were the parents are not good parents, so they're letting their kids out that time of night. So he went, because the knocking on the door was constant. It was a big bang, bang, bang. He looked through the peephole to see who it was because it was a bit strange that time of night. I mean, I certainly would. I'd be checking to see who's knocking on my door that time of night. And he saw 3 youths aged between, he reckons, 13 and 16 years old, all wearing dark jeans, dark hoodie, the hoodie pulled over. The hoodies pulled over their faces.
Yes.
And then when they were back knocking on the door again, one of them looked up and it had the black eyes. He didn't know whether it was part of the costume, the black-eyed kids that got
being Halloween lenses, and what have you.
But the thing was that the other two looked up, had exactly the same, and he thought, no, sod that, I'm not answering the door. Kids of that age knocking at this time of night, between the pee really. So he ignored them. And then they went round the side of the house, round to the other side of the house, and were knocking at the windows at the back. Up, bang, 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 bang. So he made sure that his daughter in her cot was still asleep, which she was. And then he was worried that these kids were going to try and break into the house. So he made sure the windows and doors were locked. And he shouted at them to sod off. There's nothing here for them. And he said then he got this sense of dread that came over him, that he grabbed his daughter and he was literally slid on he'd sort of slid down the wall holding his daughter in a crouching position, shaking, and he couldn't understand why he had this fear of dread. It just came over him. And he said he stayed like that until 4 o'clock when his wife got up. Of course, he put his daughter down and made out that nothing had happened, there was nothing strange.
Yeah.
Just to not worry his wife. And she carried on the day as normal into the kitchen, making breakfast, getting ready for work. But that is his story of these black-eyed kids. Now, what I find is strange is there was 3 of them that were aged older. They weren't young kids. These were older.
Normally they're little dots, aren't they?
These had normal present-day clothing on them, not dated. Yeah. I find strange that he felt a fear that came over him. Now, could that have been a natural fear that we would all feel of the unknown? Or was it a fear that came because they were black-eyed kids? And where did they go? As soon as daybreak came,
they're gone.
They went.
Well, do you know what? Another interesting part of that, Viv, that blows me away as well, is that they asked permission to be let in. So it's like vampire law, isn't it? I'm not saying they're vampires, but it seems to follow that pattern, doesn't it? It's like they can't come in unless you invite them in. They can ask.
But doesn't part of the law is if you let them in, they're supposed to kill you?
If you let them in once, then they've got access to your property anytime then.
And
but you can revoke it, I think. But it's odd. It's just why, if it's a spirit, then a spirit, surely, you've seen it before, they can enter and move around freely, can't they?
But they reckon in America, though, that this is demonic, that this is demon taking the guise of children. Yeah. And again, it's that very fine line, like, do you believe in demons? If a demon is going to come after you, why is he going to do it I say he, might be a she, as a kid? Why not come as a demon? Because I just don't understand it.
It's like the whole thing with demons. Like stuff's been knocked about in my house and I've been pinched at night. Well, it's a demon. Well, I'm sorry. Demons are a damn sight more powerful than that.
Powerful, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're going to ruin your life. Not just today. They'll ruin everything that you've worked. They'll just ruin everything because they can, because they're powerful beings, supernatural beings. So, if you want to call them that, but yeah,
I think we all want legitimate proof, though, William. I think this is something that we're all looking for.
Yeah,
and I suppose it is.
I can suppose why it's unexplained. We can't put a finger on it. How they're formed, what they do. I think it's just you need evidence. You said once you've seen it or it's been happened to you, then you can put your finger on it, can't you?
I know what I'd do. I'd throw Jay in front of the 2 of us and saying, Dad, leg it, let Dad Jay deal with them.
Thanks, mate.
Jay,
I would turn around and go, shouldn't you be in bed? Bit past your bedtime, ain't it,
on, Dad.
I'm going to phone up social services.
But do you think though, Dan? I mean, they've even been knocking on car door windows. What's that about? Yeah. Do they even know what a car is?
Oh, okay, Jane. That makes sense. That makes sense, Jane. Do they know what a car? Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know. A lot of it. I mean, I've not. It's one of those things, and I agree with William to an extent. I agree with the fact it sounds very anecdotal. It sounds very like it could be just a story off the back of another story or a compilation of different legends and myths put together to make this culminate in this one particular entity or energies. I don't know. But it's one of those things that I've never really... There's information out there regarding it, but nowhere near as much as there are other paranormal things.
Do you think it's a case of, you won't remember this, Jay, because you're too young, because me and Dan are quite old. Do you remember that legend where if you stare in the mirror and say Bloody Mary, or Dirry Dory, you've heard of that?
Dirry Dory.
Dirry Dory. It was Dirry Dory in our day.
Dirry Dory.
Dirry Dory 5 times that Dirry Dory would appear and kill you. So could this be a case of it's an old wives' tales to keep people out of the woods at night? Do you think that might be what it is? I mean,
I mean, you got to remember, a lot of these ghost legends they come about because of smugglers not wanting people to encroach on their territory.
Exactly.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
So they would go, well, don't go in there. There's a demon in there, or the devil goes there, or there's ghosts in there, and they'll take your life and da da da. But it was just them making these stories up to hide the fact that they were smuggling and they were basically importing contraband and to keep people away, frightened. Same as highwaymen.
And back in the day, don't forget, going back a few hundreds of years, people were a little bit thicker and they were more susceptible to believe.
I don't think they're any different today, to be honest.
You think?
I think most people still got that element of suspicion of, they're still worried about, or they're still superstitious about things. I'm still superstitious about things.
I am as well.
I'm not saying that it's wrong.
Do you think that people manifest them themselves because that's what they're going out to look for, or that if you're going out looking for it and you want to see it that badly, you are going to see it because you're putting it in here, and the thing they don't exist, but because you put it in here, you're going to see something like that nobody else sees.
Yeah, I think more than being scared of anything that's been tangible, I've scared myself more on occasions.
I have.
By my imagination running away with it. I used to do a hell of a lot of, years ago, I used to do a hell of a lot of camping on my own in the woodlands, like they called it bushcraft, and it wasn't bushcraft, it was me just wild camping. And I was fine with it. But then eventually, I could interpret things. Oh, okay, Terry. I could interpret things that weren't actually happening. And it's only recently that I found out that if you're on your own in a woodland, and you can hear voices and stuff like that, it comes under, and it's factual. They're called auditory hallucinations.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, Jane says that something about the fact that they're linked to UAP and UFO locations, but I don't think that's correct.
No,
they're linked to towns and not just woodlands and stuff.
But people in the car park in the States. Yeah. They went to a guy in a car park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said to him, let me in. And he's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Do one, he said.
Or can I use your telegraph?
That's what you were saying.
Another one. That's another one.
You were saying, Viv.
They knocked on somebody's door and asked the woman, can I use your telegraph? And she shut the door because she thought it was odd. Like, telegraph, what are you talking about? You know. But it's an old way, so we need to consider the possibility there has been a collective of people focusing their energy and mind power on the thought of black-eyed children and enough power that they can use it to manifest. Yeah,
right, exactly. Which is what we were saying. That was like the Philip experiment, wasn't it?
But then I think also there are people that will use that will use the black-eyed children to their advantage to get paranormal investigators that are a bit simple, that don't know any better, to coin in on it. For example, the Four Crosses in Cannock Chase. Now, I'm not saying that is haunted. The fact that they're linking it to Cannock Chase, the black-eyed children, people will swarm to that place to do, an investigation, thinking they're going to see black-eyed children, when in fact they're not going to.
They're not going to,
no. No. I know Cannock Chase has been considered to be spectral and haunted and very, very supernatural for centuries.
But again, is that for coinage?
You never know, would you? You would never know the true origins of these things, and people can. I mean, I'm not going to call out people's experiences because I don't know what the experiences are. I never had them. They had them.
No, yeah.
But one thing I do know is people are prone to misinterpreting things, and we do have hallucinations.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't really know. I don't. The jury's out on that one for me.
But the thing is, I mean, don't get me wrong. I reckon there have been at times going back in history. I mean, a lot of our country was woodland. When you think about it, Dan, it wasn't 95%. Just Cannock Chase. It wasn't just Cannock Chase. Nottingham, the whole area of Nottingham was just woodland.
Well, the thing is, if you move from town to town and village to village, they were all in woods.
Yeah.
Everything was in the woods. Everything. 95% of the land was woodland. It was forest. So you had to get through woodlands. And this is where the whole thing about Robin Hood, because there's this discrepancy as to, well, did he come from Nottingham? Was he a Yorkshireman? Because the forest was the expanse of it was so big that it spread across those counties.
Did he have kids that he neglected? This is the thing. Now, if you're neglecting your kids, not necessarily because or on purpose, you're neglecting your kids because you yourself can't afford to feed yourself. So the kids are out on your own, fend for yourself.
They did,
And
didn't they?
these kids are dying. Could have some disease. Like I know when you caught the plague, you got the black welts and pots, didn't you?
Yeah, the buboes, wasn't it? I think.
Could the eyes turn black, and then when they come back as ghosts and re-showing themselves, is that what you're seeing? That's why you're seeing a black-eyed kid.
That's the thing, isn't it? Who would know? It's all. There's nothing. I mean, the subject itself is incredulous, so there's no theory that is not as incredulous as the actual happenings.
Right, Dan.
Nothing's beyond.
I'm going to give you a scenario, and I want you to tell me what you think your reaction would be, and I'll do a different scenario to Jay, and then I'll do a scenario for people in the chat if they want to come forward with theirs. So, Dan, it's a Saturday night. You've been out all day busy with your wife and your children. You've come home. You were that tired that you bought in a takeaway because you couldn't be bothered to cook because you had such a busy day with the kids. They've eaten their takeaway and they're literally falling asleep on the settee. You both put your children to bed. Your wife's gone to bed shortly afterwards because she's absolutely shattered. And you're sitting there thinking, I'll watch the end of this war film before I go to bed. Not your front door, your back door. You are hearing bang, 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 bang. You get up to have a look to see who's at your back door, and through the window you see two kids standing there in a dress not of this era, okay? A girl and a boy holding hands, asking you to let them in. What would you do?
Well,
you've seen they got black eyes. What would you do?
I'd chip myself. I'll be honest with you. I would crap myself. I would be terrified.
Would you let them in?
No, I wouldn't even open the door. What I would do is I would close the door so that you couldn't see through to the kitchen, so they couldn't see them.
Would you just leave them out there?
Just leave them out there. And then what I would do the next day is I would get to every kind of magical shop or church that I could find, get everything. Like, remember the bloke in The Mummy who had, I can't think of his name now, who had all the, when the mummy got older, he had all the different religions. That'd be me. I would put black salt down, I would put holy water down, I'll put everything you could imagine. But no, I would ignore it. I would not want to. No,
even though they were young kids. Even though they were young kids.
If they were not that girl I saw, I know I keep going back to that spirit. I believe it was the spirit that I saw, and she was at the side of the road, and she had her head down. I couldn't see her right. She could very well have been. I don't know. She could have been one. To be honest, I don't know. But I took it that she was the spirit. And even though I turned around and went back and grabbed the car to look and she wasn't there, that's fine. But if I saw somebody with black eyes, I wouldn't be dealing with them. But that would be because I'd be thinking to myself, A, that's not right. And B, as much as I would like to negate and say, look, I don't believe in that, I don't give it credibility, to me, that would smack of something that's demonic.
Yeah.
As Terry says, which is absolutely spot on, if the eyes are the gateway to the soul, if you had a bad soul, do they turn black? It's exactly it.
To be fair, a lot of goths have that, so I wouldn't take that as
no. That's the thing, isn't it?
gonna give Jay a scenario now. So Jay, you are at work during the day. During the day, you get up early, you go to work, you're on you do your groundsman work.
Exactly, William.
So you come off your ride-on mower, and you go to put your ride-on mower away in your garage that you lock it up in.
Yeah.
And as you're in there, just checking it over and making sure everything's all right for the next person to use, standing in the doorway of the garage, so it's already open.
Yep.
You see two children, not in old-fashioned dress,
Mm-hmm.
looking directly at you, asking you if they could borrow your phone to get help and call their mummy. What do? You haven't got a door to hide behind. What would you do?
I would give them my work radio.
You'd actually give it to them.
Oh, I've got no choice because we haven't got an exit.
I wouldn't
All we've
engage
got
with them.
Is the front? Sorry.
I don't engage with them on any level.
Well, how
Just
would you
ignore
get out? Because that's
Well, don't. Just pull that bloody shutter down. Tell them to go away and pull the shutter down. Tell them to do one.
The barn's big enough to work around them. But I don't know. It's hard. I don't know.
You'd give them your radio, though.
I'd give them my work radio and see what they do.
Bell.
You would?
I probably would engage because they're asking help. I think, I think.
And they've got black eyes. You've noticed they've got black eyes.
Yeah, so I would start filling up as well. So
I would point at them and go, "What's this black eye business about?"
It's quite a tough one. Like you say, you're in that scenario, and yes, they are. They say, "Can we use your phone?" Like you said.
You could be phoning hell, though, Terry.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. Like I say, I would probably engage with them to give them my work radio. And then I would, shut the door. Shutters.
You'd give them the radio and then shut the shutters down.
Yeah, shut the shutters down. Yeah.
Okay, right. So I've got one for everyone in the chat. So please come back with your scenarios. So here's the one for people in the chat.
You'd have to call the police, wouldn't you?
You have gone shopping. You've gone to the supermarket and you're on your own to do your family shop. And you've come back with your trolley full of your groceries and you've loaded them in the boot of your car. So if you don't drive, just imagine you do. You've put your trolley away and you've got your coin back, which you put in your pocket. You've got into your car and put your key in the ignition and have just started your car. All of a sudden, you hear tap, tap, tap on your driver's side window, and there are two children standing next to you. You look in your rear view mirror, and there is a third standing behind the car. The two children are asking you for help, that they are lost and they're looking for their mummy. And when you look at them properly, you realise they don't look right and they have black eyes. Bearing in mind you have one at the back of your car, so if you're reversing out of the spot, you're going to hit it. What do you do?
Floor it.
Be interesting to see what they say.
Yeah.
I'd close my eyes and cry.
Would you not try and run one of them over?
I'd reverse up slightly, but gently, see if it moves.
Coventry.
And leave them in a cloud of dust. But if you reverse and you think that they look like real kids, obviously you're going to kill that one that you're going to reverse into. So,
because that's clearly like holy water, isn't it? To spiritual, like to ghost kids. F off.
Yeah, but you're in the car. You would jump across the seat and get out the passenger side and run away.
I don't know. I think I'd turn the radio on, put some Slayer on, because nobody would be able to put up with that. And demons wouldn't be able to put up with that, because I love Slayer. Put Slayer on and just wait for them to go.
Is Slayer a heavy rock band, is it, Dan?
Yeah, metal. Yeah, metal, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I think William's got the right idea.
Yeah, I think he has. Yeah. I like Jane though. Jane, I'll be the same as Jane. Gently put your foot down, just reverse up. But yeah, William as well. Yeah.
Nobody, apart from William, they just said, "I'll just call the police." Just sit there until the police got there.
Yeah, but you phone the police and they go, "Oh, that fucking got that bloke last week who said there was a dragon in his lounge." He now has got black-eyed kids outside. Exactly, Belle. Exactly.
Well, see, he needs a bit of rain in blood, doesn't he?
He does. Great album.
Bit of rain in blood in his
He
life.
does. You do. You do. Hey, Christine.
So you'd call Christine on the mobile and say, Christine, I'm stuck in a car park. Come and save me. I think she'd batter you afterwards, wouldn't she?
Oh, I'll tell you what, though. What kind of a man is that hiding behind his wife? That's a good, nice one, Terry. I did the same. The police yeah. It's I don't know. It's really odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think they are, Viv? Let's turn the question back to you. What do you think they are?
I think they're people's imaginations.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're welcome to knock on my door. I'll invite them in. I ain't got a problem because I've got enough ghosties in my house to
You're off your rocker, love.
F them off out of it. Honestly, no, seriously, I live in a haunted house. So if they wanted to come in and do some haunted shite in my house, they're more than welcome to, because I think the ghosts I've got in here will set upon them. You know, they have been quite aggressive and violent in here at times. So that would be an interesting scenario, wouldn't it? I'd say,
it would. And that's a good point, Viv.
Yeah,
because you hear about people going out and doing investigations at haunted properties, but they never come across black-eyed children, do they? Or very rarely it's been heard of. They just specifically turn up out of nowhere on your doorstep or by your car, asking, "Can I have help?" or "Can you give them a lift?" or "Can you let them use your phone?" or what have you. Yeah. They never ever turn up in investigations, do they? So yeah, I would go along with it's probably imagination.
Yeah,
it's probably something like that.
Oh, what's this then? You've got social services round for
yeah, you will.
No, but seriously, like, you know, if you did let, I mean, I if there's kids just knocked on my door crying and I wanted a mummy, wanted help, I would let them in. Seriously, I would.
If they haven't got black eyes, yeah.
Even if they have got black eyes.
If they got black eyes, they wait there, Stanley. I'll get the old bill and do it that way.
You know, if they've got black eyes, I'd still let them in. You know, even if I thought they were a bit odd, I'd still let them in because the whole of my household is odd. You know,
See, for me, it wouldn't bother if it was just me, but then I've got kids in that here, and I wouldn't want to bring anything in that was.
Yeah, I've got obviously. Luke,
you know what I mean?
Well, but...
it's just strange, isn't it, that a spirit can attach itself to somebody or a property and can follow them willy-nilly, go in and out of houses and go in and out of properties without a buyer or leave. Yet these things have to actually.
Has anyone actually been killed? Has ever seen? No one in the history of the black-eyed children has anyone actually been ever killed by any one of them. There isn't.
No.
So, you know, if two kids knocked on my door, honestly, I would think that there would be two kids that are seriously in need, that their lives were in danger and needed of help. So I would let them in. I would.
Or not that we know of. What about people that go missing? What if they've invited them into their cars?
Who? What?
Like people that have gone missing, but we just found the car by the side of the road abandoned. They've left their stuff in it, but they're not there. I know the chances are it's probably a serial killer or a lunatic. I think the worst things in this world are probably living humans.
Yes.
But But what if it's also? What if it could? Is there a possibility it could be black-eyed kids?
Nah. Every story has seen people are afraid and don't let them in. You know, I think in today's age, though, if people are still seeing black-eyed children, surely they'd get their mobile phones out and they'd be recording it. Surely. Kids knock on the door. Why aren't they recording it? You know, we had mobile phones with cameras back in 1998.
Yeah, but Viv, you've got them bloody doorbell cameras now, haven't you?
Yeah, the Ring doorbells.
Yeah, exactly. Jamie, the Ring doorbells, they're not catching them on that, are they?
No.
You know? They are, William. Humans are awful.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm led to believe that if these kids are approaching people, they could be part of kids that have been part of a paedophile ring. You just don't know. So why would you run away from kids like that really needed help?
I think for me, if they were normal kids or normal spirits, I'd be fine with, well, as fine as I could be.
Yeah.
But the fact that they got the black eyes just rings doorbells for me. Because obviously Hollywood has promoted this image. Oh, if he's got black eyes, it's demonic. So Hollywood's been conducive in setting about a lot of negative propaganda where these propaganda shouldn't probably really exist.
Let me give you another scenario. What about these paedophile rings that might have put these contact lenses
I'm with you, William.
in the kids to scare people. So if they do get away, they're scared of them, they're not going to help them, and then they're left to be tormented even more. I mean, these paedophile rings do exist. I mean, I'll give you
They do. But you're right as well. And do you know what? I mean, I've been to Halloween parties, not so much for years, but when I was younger. And then I've gone into like a joke shop or whatever, and you can buy those bloody black things. You put like, and I've
contact lenses.
I've put them in the contact lenses.
Yeah.
I think they cost me £12. So kids could be buying them for a laugh at Halloween, sticking them in their eyes. Oh, let's knock on Mrs. And unfortunately, people do let their children roam the streets at 2 and 3 in the morning or midnight because some parents genuinely don't care, do they?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It could be just that. It could be something as simple as kids putting them in their eyes for a laugh.
Yeah.
Or let's do this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or let's talk about something old-fashioned. So that'll throw them off. They'll think. And of course, if you've got kids turn up on your doorstep with them, you're not going to know whether they're real or not.
Yeah.
All you're seeing is kids wearing these black eyes.
I think it's funny. Like here in the UK, we call them the black-eyed children. In America, they call them BEK, black-eyed kids.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see what they call them across the world, because I'm sure they've got different names right across the world. That this is not just a British American thing.
No, it's a global phenomenon, isn't it?
Global phenomenon, yeah.
But it's I'll let you in if you let me poke you in the eye.
Or do what's his name? A Russ Abbott on them. See you, Jimmy.
Oh, do you know what you could do, couldn't you? You could keep a set of those contact lenses in your car or in your house, and then if you see them out the door, just put them in your eyes and answer the door and go, what?
See what they do.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
You could, couldn't you? What do you want?
We say kids because we're too lazy to say children.
Yeah, you wouldn't all, mate, wouldn't you? But
it doesn't just happen at night, though. It's happened in broad daylight.
Yeah, during the day.
Like that woman that was walking her dog. There was a family going for a walk in Cannock Chase during the day that saw, I think it was 2 of them. And that was a bit concerning because they scooped their kid up and then went running away from them because they thought they were a bit odd. But,
so it's
the same with these Dogman things, isn't it? I'm not being funny, right? But there's some amazing costumes out there now that look the part, and you really couldn't tell the difference. If somebody said, "Oh, do you know what? There's been sightings at the woodland up near you, and there's been a Dogman in it." First thing I would do when I was younger, I'd be getting myself a mask off of Amazon and walking around there at night, whistling.
Yeah.
Because you think this is hilarious.
But what about these kids? They're doing that just for a laugh or for dares or whatever, and people are running away from them. What if somebody actually grabbed hold of one of them? You're coming with me, Sonny Jim. Like,
or pulled a gun out.
We're adults. Why has nobody done that?
Yeah.
Why is there no film footage of it?
Yeah, no. There
isn't
any video footage of them, is there?
No, and in America they've got guns. We haven't got guns. They've got guns, so they could shoot the kids if they cracked off with some weird shit, couldn't they? So
what you get here is the catapult in the eye, isn't it? That'd be it. You got the Pigman as well. You've got that one exactly. That's another one.
Pigman.
It's got the head of a pig.
But then, you know, in modern day society, I mean, as far back as we'll go to about 1998. Why haven't, and we've got more brains than back in a few hundred years ago. Why hasn't someone grabbed hold of one of these kids and said, "Right, you're coming with me down to the police station," and marched them off down to the local police, the local Nick? Why has that not happened? I don't get it, Dan. How grown men can be scared of little kids.
Or maybe it has, Viv. Maybe it has, but it's not got out there because it's not become part of the folklore.
Hasn't, no.
You know, because they found the thing is, it's just weird, isn't it? I mean, the older I get and the longer I'm in this game, the more suspicious and skeptic I become of people's interpretations of what they've seen or what they've heard or some of the stories. I'm not saying that they're lying, of course I'm not, because I can't.
No.
I've not had the experience that they've had. But I'm almost becoming jaded to the point where it's like...
You're coming a hermit.
Well, it's just like, I don't know, is this true? Is it real? Yeah. Did this happen? Are these things real? Yeah, exactly, Belle, exactly.
But then we've grown since all this law came out, and we all have a better understanding of things. So I don't think that's right, you know, because if a 6-year-old kid's knocking on my door, I'll be going, right, wait there while I get my coat. I said, you'll be coming with me, Sonny Jim, and I'll be taking him off down the Nick.
I think, though, Viv, it's like the fire, isn't it? When you're out in the woods and you light a fire, it's for warmth and comfort, but more than anything, it's to keep wild animals away. And it's also so you can see what's out there in the darkness slightly. So it gives them that security. And I think that we're hard, even in 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years, no matter where evolution goes, I think we're still going to be hardwired to be scared and worried and nervous because it's self-preservation, isn't it? I don't think that'll ever go away, and I think that people will always be scared and always be skeptical. Not skeptical, always be superstitious of things because at the end of the day, you don't know.
Ivan.
You know, I don't know. It's a hard one, isn't it? No, I haven't. Hi, Von.
I haven't heard anything for it, yeah.
Exactly, Terry.
But I think that people that are into the paranormal, that want a bit of attention, this is just, don't shoot the messenger, this is just my opinion. I think by always depicting a child is more sinister than putting a grown-up there or putting an old motherfucking Riley. Oh, sorry, I should swear. Old Mother Riley from down the road in her pinny and curlers and a rolling pin. I think by putting a child there, it looks and becomes more sinister and then more fashionable.
Yeah.
And I think that people like, and I hate to say it, I'm going to say the Z word, Zach Bagans. As much as I love watching Ghost Adventures, everything it's a haunting of a little girl. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's made it quite popular as well. That's bringing it back. And these people on YouTube, these content creators, are seeing a little girl running around the forest.
Yeah.
It is just mimicking and copying for ego and for more views, more clicks. Look at my channel. I've seen a black-eyed child, and it's just a load of tosh.
Do you know what? Prime example for that is what's the name of that medium, Viv? The American guy, thick eyebrows, grey sort of beard. He did
not Randy. Randy?
Yeah. What was his full name?
I can't remember. All I know is Randy.
It was him. He did a thing at the Sally House, which was where there was a little girl. I thought he was a good medium, to be fair. I thought he was pretty on the button. And he went round this Sally House. They didn't tell him anything about it. And this is before it became big news, early 70s sort of thing, mid 70s. They took him round. He's walking around. He's walked round to the thing. He's looked up when there's a little girl up there. He went, she's called Sally. Hi, Sally. He's going, hi, Sally. And he's talking to this energy. And then it was great. And then he walked away. So I was a little girl here. And then he passed away, bless him. And then all of a sudden, all of a sudden, that little girl's a demon. She's a demon. Just a little demon. That is a demon. That is a demon pretending to be a little girl. And you think, come on, man. Come on.
Mhm.
No, not everything's a demon.
No.
No. And if it were a demon, do you really think that they would be that mild-mannered?
Mm.
These energies, and why would they need to hide the fact of what they are?
Yeah, exactly.
They're terrifying more than anything, you know?
Yeah.
Why would it need to hide in the skies of a little... I don't buy into a lot of this stuff. And that's what I mean. The more, I mean, ghosts, spirits, I believe they're about completely. Energies, completely. You know, I can't prove it, but I believe it. Thanks, Kelly.
Yeah.
I can't prove it, but I believe it. And in myself, I know, same as we all do. But we can't then tell other people that they're real because they may not have the same interpretation as we have. But it's just, I don't know. The most frightening thing is another human, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Has anybody got any questions in the chat? We've been going on at this for about an hour now.
We have.
So if anybody's got any questions in the chat, now's the time to put them in because I think we're going to lose Jay in a bit.
Yeah, you are in a minute. Yeah, I've got bed.
Thanks, Belle. Thanks, Kelly.
He's on a promise.
I am.
Are you?
I've got
He's got to go to bed.
Yeah, I've got a promise with my alarm clock at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, so what
Yes,
you get
what
my
else
age, the only promise you want is that you can get your head down.
Exactly. You have 8 hours and that's it.
I'm going to introduce you all to the things jar.
Yes, the magic jar. The jar of delicious things.
You wish.
We have. If anyone does get a photo, post it. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we've got the things jar, and in this things jar is a list of. I can't really.
You better, Vonner will be coming knocking for you.
Coming knocking.
Wearing black eyes.
Give me your money.
Come and haunt her. I'm just going to mix them up on the desk, right, before I put them back in the jar because the jars. It's got so many in this jar now. I can't.
This is the treat jar now, isn't it? The paranormal treat jar.
Yeah.
Well, this is our jar, which has got lots of subjects written them on there because sometimes we struggle for what we're going to talk about next week. So we've done.
I know you do, Von.
So we've got a jar with all these different subjects in. I've given them a good shake and a good mix around. And every week at the end of the show, we're going to pick out a subject. No jelly beans. No.
No jelly beans.
No, we're all on a diet.
I reckon Bigfoot will come out.
We're all on a diet.
Ooh, let's
my.
I mean, after last Saturday, trying to jump in and out of tanks that took me about a good 10 minutes just to get in one. We're all on a diet, so no more sweets.
Did you take
me? You get in one? I said, you're joking, and you'd be like a muffin top on me.
So should I pick one? I'll put my hand in and I'll pick one out at random.
Ooh,
Bigfoot, go on.
It's this one.
Bigfoot.
It's Black-Eyed Kids.
This is what we're talking about
Ooh.
next week. Okay, so you're going to have to do your homework if you don't know about it.
Crystals in the paranormal.
Crystals in the paranormal.
It's crystals in the paranormal.
Yeah, but at least you get in one, Belle. I couldn't. I thought we were going to get a can opener to get Viv out at one point. She just wouldn't get out. I think she liked it in there.
So this is what we're talking about next week. So next Tuesday we will be back and we will be talking about crystals in the paranormal. So this will be an interesting show because
I'm gonna have to do some more research.
We'll be doing research and we'll be talking to people that know people that do use crystals in the paranormal.
They do. Some people use them with good success, don't they?
Yeah,
they do.
Mm.
Right,
But,
guys, I'm gonna say good night.
Good night.
Good night, Jay. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, watch the Bogeyman.
Yeah.
Or the Black-Eyed Kids.
Yeah.
Or a ghost fart in your mouth.
Yeah. Sleep with your mouth closed. You never know what might enter it at night, paranormal-wise speaking.
Well,
yes.
Hey ho. But yeah, like I say, have a good night on Simply Spooky tomorrow night, Wednesday night.
Cheers, buddy.
See you. Night, Belle. And I'll be in the chat. Night, Von. Flat tell. So yeah, so I'll keep you informed.
We'll get you as admin in on the chat so you can keep them all in order.
Yeah, I'll keep
Jane.
them all sorted and in
good lad.
control. So I will say good night. Have a good show.
Good night, buddy.
I'll see
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Watch out for those black-eyed children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do. You're going to get
especially
a
that
phone call.
Will I Am.
Meet
Oh
you
no, it's Black Eyed
halfway.
Pea.
Right, night, guys.
Good night, mate.
Bye-bye.
Take
Take
it easy,
care.
buddy.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye.
one, mate. I
There's
thought he'd
Jane.
never go.
Oh, bless him. He's a good lad going to bed
He's
early.
a brilliant lad.
It's still daylight outside and he's going to bed.
I know.
I
He's
could
a
never
good
get-
lad.
I could never get my kids to go to bed when it was still light outside. Oh, it's
No,
been a
that's
right
what people.
nightmare.
That's what is that what people? I think it is, isn't it? They have those. What they call them? Those
Blackout blinds.
blackout blinds and that. Yeah, make the kids pretend it's night time.
It's just a nightmare.
But it's been an
I tell ya.
interesting subject, Viv, isn't it?
It has, and I've enjoyed tonight's show about the black-eyed children. I don't know what everybody else has thought about it.
No, that's interesting. What do you guys think about them? Have you got any ideas as to what you think they might be, or just put? We're not here to say, oh, you're wrong or you're right. We don't know. We're just open to interpretations. It's interesting.
I was gonna put... Yeah, no results.
Exactly.
Jane says cobblers. Yeah. Love it. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Cobblers indeed.
Oh, there's another word. That's a good one.
I'm
It's,
glad you enjoyed it, Kelly.
It's codswallop, Dan.
Codswallop.
What is a codswallop when
I
it's
have
at
no
home?
idea. Obviously, must come from somewhere, doesn't it? We should bring those old English interpretations. Like my favourite one, I was talking about the other day at you, Viv. I like the one, I got duffed up, or let's duff him up.
Let's
Or did
duff
you get
him up.
duffed
Yeah. Or
He
I'll
got
duff
duffed.
you up.
You used to have kids years ago, didn't you? I got duffed up at break.
Oh, you know what my favourite one is? The F word.
Go on.
It's F and L and ends in a D.
Oh, yes, I know the one. Yes. That you tried to get me to say the other week and I didn't.
I've really looked into pages. It'd be great to listen back.
Listen, I'll be honest with you, Von. If you listen back to us talking about it, you'll know even less than when you started.
A codswallop. Can't say until after the 9 p.m. watershed. Jane, just message us. Just message us privately and let us know what a codswallop's all about.
It could be whacking a cod on the side of a boat. It could very well be, Terry.
Is that what it is?
It could be. It sounds credible, doesn't it?
Codswallop. You just
It
smash
sounds
them.
credible.
You just smash them over the head with your shoe.
Oh yeah, or they used to have something called. Well, they still have a priest, don't they? It's like a police truncheon, but smaller. It's called a priest, and I used to hit them with that.
Maybe that's what the codswallop is.
Might be, could very well be. They come in weird and wonderful places. These sayings, these old English, global sayings, a lot of them, aren't they?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jane. We're glad you enjoyed it. We enjoyed it tonight, Viv, didn't we?
We did. But yeah, we got some homework to do now about crystals and the paranormal. So that's going to be.
I know nothing about crystals.
No, neither do I.
Nothing about crystals. I like them. I think they're lovely.
Might have to get hold of Luce or Kerry Greenaway and ask them.
They'll know.
Definitely. I mean, I did.
Good, Kelly. Good.
I did a course on crystals, but that was for divination and for readings and stuff. This has got nothing to do with crystals and the paranormal. So
no. Well, people use it for all sorts of metaphysical things, don't they?
But in the paranormal, for gridding and things like that. And I know that Belle, she uses her dowsing crystals, doesn't she?
They're like a pendulum crystal. Yeah.
So,
I mean, I've never really used it. I mean, I know I've been with Kerry, I think, when she's used them. But I know Kerry's had some good results with them, hasn't she?
Yeah, she grids, doesn't she?
She grids and stuff, yeah. But I wouldn't even know where to begin with that. But it's an interesting subject, isn't it, nonetheless?
Yeah, I mean, I've given workshops and taught people about dowsing and what dowsing actually means, and it's not actually spirits that do it; it's
No.
our own
Yes.
subconscious mind. So
Yes.
it'd be interesting to find out and looking into this a bit more to see actually how are they using it and what's going on.
Yes. Dowsing's a really interesting subject, isn't it?
Josh, we should do a
And
workshop.
proven.
Shall we do a workshop, Dan?
Do you know what? I've got a pair of dowsing rods I bought here. There was a shop opened in Bedfordshire years ago, and the lady that owned it, my mate of mine went to me, "You got to go there." He went, "She's a real, like, she's a proper witch. She's not Wiccan or anything. She's like a proper practicing heritage witch. It's been in her family." And I went there. Lovely woman. Didn't know I was from Adam, and I didn't know her from Adam. And yeah, they're good protections on. And I went there, and I was just looking around, and I caught out the corner of my eye, I caught these dowsing rods, these brass dowsing rods or copper, and she had them in this cabinet. And I didn't make anything of them. I just looked at them, then walked back, and she said to me, "Those dowsing rods would be good for you." I went, "Would they?" She went, "Yeah." Now, she didn't know me from Adam. She went, "That'd be great." She went, "To help you in your quest for ghost hunting." So how did she know I was a ghost hunter?
Yeah.
You know, how did she know that I wasn't even? I just glanced at them, thought they're nice, and then didn't even really pay. Like, I could have been looking at anything in that cabinet.
Have you still got them, Dan?
Still got them. Yeah, still got them. They're like my pride and joy.
Have you used the Y rods? Now the Y rods are, and it's made from either witch hazel or willow.
Yes.
And now you can use them. You can use any wood, but those are the two best ones.
Yeah, so it has to be a lot of natural material, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we had to go with that, and that was weird. But yeah, we'll have to maybe do a workshop, Dan, for people that want to do a dowsing workshop. If anybody's interested, let us know. We can sort something out for later.
I've done quite a bit of dowsing over the years. Dowsing up by it's a really weird experience, but a good experience. Is dowsing up in Avebury by the stone circles.
Oh,
I've done that a few times. That's a great experience.
On my timeline, there is my husband dowsing with my dowsing rods, and he does use very. Viv, have you got an interchangeable light on the back on your? No, what it is, it's my laptop because it's a gamer, and it does this stupid thing. I don't know. I don't understand it. But yeah, I was saying that my husband does the dowsing rods at Avebury, and he does swear a lot as he's doing it. But if you want a good laugh,
we'll have to go there to Avebury and do some
dowsing at Avebury.
That's going to be our
welcome, Jessica. Welcome.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi. Oh, bless her.
We'll have to do that. We'll have to go to Avebury and do some dowsing there because it's a bloody good day out. That place, yeah. I do like that place. It's really, really a lot of energy there. Very good. I sound like a hippie now.
You are one.
I'm a bit of one, I suppose. Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting.
So, guys, there's no more questions coming up about the black-eyed kids. So we'll call it a night, Dan. And
yeah, I've enjoyed it. Thanks everybody for participating. It's really good.
Yeah. So this is our new subject. I'm dreading this one, Dan. I'm really dreading it.
I have no idea. I know. Yeah, I haven't got any. I hope you lot out there have got an idea of what crystals and stuff because I haven't. And have you, Viv?
Well, I think
you know more than I do because I have no idea about.
It's going to be a good show, isn't it?
It's going to be awful. Be a great show. I just hope that everybody out there knows a lot more than we do about them.
So before we go, though, tomorrow, some quick announcements. Tomorrow on Simply Spooky at 8:00.
Thanks, Kelly.
You can catch us with Crystal.
Sorry.
We could talk about that. we can. What was I going to say? Nick Mulate is our guest tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, Nick, lovely Nick.
So we'll be live from 8 o'clock tomorrow on Simply Spooky with Nick. We have so much to discuss and talk about with Nick. We might have to get him back on and do a second.
I was going to say,
show
I
with
think
him.
we're going to need him on for 2 because the man is a mine of information. He's a lovely.
Oh.
Some of you may know him. He's a lovely, lovely fellow. I think he's Chicago, isn't it? He comes from Viv.
He comes from Chicago, yeah.
Comes from Chicago. He's a lovely, lovely fellow. He's a gentle soul, isn't he?
Yeah.
And a nice man and a wealth of knowledge.
And we also have Simply Spooky on YouTube. So if you haven't seen already, go onto the Simply Spooky Facebook page and you'll find the links for Simply Spooky YouTube. Please like and subscribe and click the bell for new ones that are uploaded. You can always catch up there if you prefer YouTube to Facebook. And also Striking Midnight. Now, as Dan said, we have been out. We have been filming. We have 2 episodes yet to edit.
2 in the can.
So that's some exciting stuff. Again, if you can subscribe to Striking Midnight and like and share that, we'd be very grateful because you could be helping us to get the word out.
Yeah, thank you.
Have you got anything else you want to say, Dan? Any messages?
I think that's it. I just want to thank everybody for joining in tonight. And as usual, they've been brilliant in participating and been because you don't realise it, but you guys are a massive part of our podcast and things, or our shows, what have you, what you want to call them, because we rely on you for feedback and to interact with us because it's brilliant. It's great to get everybody's ideas and to run with them and talk things through with people, and people come up with ideas that I haven't even thought of, which is great.
And if you have any ideas of subjects for a chat, you can always message us and I'll add them to the jar of doom.
Yeah, the doom.
The jar of doom.
The doom. Jar of doom. So yeah, but thanks again, everybody. Really appreciate it.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you all next week. Have a good week, or tomorrow maybe if you can make it. We'd love to see you. So take it easy, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye all.